The UK Parliament's system of select committees allows cross-party scrutiny of government policy. They have the power to call for any evidence they think relevant and even to cross-question ministers. While their recommendations are not binding on the government of the day, they've often proved to be influential in the long term. A recent report from the Education and Skills Select Committee has singled out an academic exchange scheme between the UK and India, run by the British Council. It's been called a great success, even though it's only been running for a year, and has been recommended as a possible model for similar initiatives with China.
The whole idea of the initiative was to change the perceptions, both here in the UK and in India, of the exchanges being sort of one way of Indian students coming to the UK. And very much at the core of this new initiative is the idea of mutuality, that both sides get benefit. And so we're looking much more at literally exchanging between bringing researchers from India to the UK, sending out UK researchers and doing joint research. Not only is this good for research and helping discover new things, but it opens the minds and the eyes of our researchers in the UK that good work is going on elsewhere.
The idea for the exchange programme came out of a 2005 meeting in New Delhi between the then British Prime Minister Tony Blair and Manmohan Singh. The two Prime Ministers agreed they wanted to see a rapid development in collaboration in education and research.
It's a cliche to say it, but it is an increasingly global economy and it's a globalized world, and unless we become part of that globalized world, we will fall behind. So there is no altruism, but there is definitely mutual benefit. We're doing this for our good, but also for the good of people and researchers in India. So it's very clearly something that is good for us, is good for India, and more generally is good for the world.
Since the initiative was officially launched in 2006, 30 research awards and 7 delivery courses have been agreed, along with 35 fellowships and scholarships and 3 vocational partnerships. 11 clusters of schools in India and the UK have also been linked.
What used to be DFES, which is now Department for Children, Schools and Families, has an international strategy which aims to ensure that all school children have an international experience while they're at school. Now, the easiest way to do that is by linking with other schools in other parts of the world, sharing ideas, or not ideas, of experiences of how we live, what we do, our daily life, what our, sharing work on curriculum. If you do a theme of the weather, for example, India, monsoons, floods in the UK. There are things to share. There are differences. There are different approaches to things. So, with the school children, it's very much a broadening their worldview beyond the day-to-day.
The scheme is so successful it's currently running in advance of its original targets. So much so that it's being held up by the Select Committee report as a possible model for future similar initiatives between Britain and China.
The Select Committee mentioned a number of things. One is partnership and collaboration as key to the future. I think that's got to be central to any development with other countries. The other is the promotion of UK students moving overseas and studying overseas, and I think this is an area where we need to work harder and achieve more.
With 4 years still to run, the British Council is already planning its next series of awards and scholarships to build on its success.